need to hear the music to know where we're headed. You see the tiki torches, you've got the beach below. All right, you've got the various icons of the many seasons above us. It is time to talk Survivor. It's the old Survivor post-game show, episode 3 of season 49. Back with us again. By the way, tonight's broadcast brought to you by our friends at Bayberry Automotive is our Survivor Insider to talk rawly about what just happened on Survivor moments ago. It's Bret LaBelle, the cop from Boston. What's up, Bret? How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you? I love the set, by the way. The set is just awesome with the water going back and forth. I feel like I'm back in Fiji. I feel like I'm in Fiji. I feel like I'm trying to get Chris Hammonds to stop crying. I feel like I'm back there right now just looking at your set.
Brett,
awesome.
You asked for it. We delivered. You know,
that's true.
We better have a good set. I said, hey, if we're going to do a serious post-game show, we better have some serious graphics. So we sent it out to the serious graphics chief, and he turned it around and produced something really nice for us. So we're very, very happy with our graphic. Welcome, everybody. It's at MC Show Digital on YouTube. If you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Of course, you can hit the thumbs up like. You are welcome. And I say, as you join this room, more than welcome to get into the comments and throw some things at Brett, throw some things at us. We will throw them up on the screen as they come in. And we're going to talk all about tonight's Survivor episode. Brett, let's start it where I think we have to start it. It was the biggest event of the night, and that was a sea snake bite by one of those black and white sea snakes. I wonder if you saw any of those snakes out there. We see them a lot of times. They show them in the water. We've seen them on the beach many times, but they've never bitten anybody, and they are a very venomous snake, and they did bite Jake. Luckily, we have found out that it was a dry bite, which was an interesting term to even hear from the doctor. And so while it stung and while it hurt and while Jake was eliminated from the show because of precautionary matters more than anything, at least he didn't get a venomous snake bite, which, you know, who knows where that could have gone. So there's some silver linings to this whole Jake story. But let's start there. I mean, did you see those snakes when you were out there? Talk about the dangers that are presented in Survivor when you're on an island like that.
I saw those snakes every day. Those snakes were very prevalent. They're in the water. They were on the land, but they saw people and they took off. And that's kind of how they told us. Like when they told us about them, they sit you down, they give you a safety briefing on what's dangerous out there, what's not, what to eat, what not to eat, what animals can be butchered to eat, what cannot. There's a ton of birds and stuff out there that you cannot eat by law. So, during that whole briefing, the snakes were part of it. And they said, these things are very, you can see them. You can't miss them. They're white and black and they're striped. And they said, don't worry. They don't even come near you. They want nothing to do with humans. And that's what I experienced. I mean, you would see them every day. Would be in the water. And once they saw you, they went the other way. That snake was acting very strange to me from when I was out there. They would never hang around like that one was hanging around.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was going on. Maybe it was a rabid snake. I don't know. Can they get rabies, Boy Green? I don't know. But
like Jeff Probst said, he kind of equated it to being struck by lightning, if you can indeed think
the
of
odds,
it.
right? Yeah,
the odds are very, very. They've been out there many times, as you know, for many seasons of Survivor. They've settled now on Fiji.
10 years of filming there. Yes.
That's a lot of survivors. It's a lot of cast members. There's a lot of crew members that have been out there, and nobody's ever gotten bitten by one of those snakes. As you say, they kind of run away from people. They let us inside the curtain a little bit too, Brett, because they showed us, dare I say, the Survivor playbook. We saw the pictures and these are dangerous and these are okay. And so you guys are briefed, correct, about the dangers that are out there, the safe things that are out there. I know you were just kind of talking a little bit about that there.
Yeah, no, definitely you get a safety briefing. And I don't entirely believe Jeff saying that it's like being struck by lightning. I believe there's probably more people that get bit by these snakes, but they are not there. It's not an aggressive snake at all. It literally sees up people and it goes the other way. It wants nothing to do with you.
Yeah, let me throw this up on the screen because that's what Lurch was referencing.
Yeah, there's that playbook. Yep.
And they zoomed in on this, so shout out to the people on social media that are watching this closely. And the description for this particular snake says exactly what you've been saying, Brett, that they, again, avoid people and that they only attack or go after people if they are severely, the word's escaping me, but like provoked. If they're they're threatened, they feel provoked, they will come after you. but they saw it here. Bret, take us behind the scenes, because this is really the first time I can remember in a long time, maybe ever, that the fourth wall, we know because you've told us this on the show before, Bret, that you guys have these basically survivor guide to all kinds of things to stay away from, or safe to eat, things of that nature. But I don't think we've ever seen it on the show like this before. So can you walk us through what this little binder is apparently at every camp?
Yeah, no, that's the same binder we had. I mean that's the same exact thing. There's probably 3 of them for each tribe, but that's exactly what we had. Same pictures, same description. But before you go out, and nobody can talk to each other, you're in a room, and they literally give you, but it's not in a binder; it's just a packet. You can't take it with you, obviously. It's one of those things that you got to leave back. But they let you see everything, go through it. You can kind of, try to remember it. And then when you get out there, there's a medicine box if anyone has medicine. There's obviously for gingers like Chris Hammond's, you might burn out there if you didn't have a suntan lotion. So they have suntan lotion they will let you use, and there is bug spray. So, and with that is this book. So if you need to go research it, or you see something that you're not sure if it's venomous or if you can eat it, you can go look at it. But I mean, after being out there for about a week, you pretty much seen it. You've seen it all for the most part,
So let me ask you this. I had not even thought about it till our buddy Rob Cesarnino said it. We knew before this season of 49, because everyone's looking forward, of course, to season 50, that 2 survivors from this 49 cast are going to appear on season 50. And, there could be a default like, winner would make sense. We've seen a lot of edit of them. And then I saw this from Rob, and it just makes too much sense. He says, guys, on Twitter, I definitely think that Jake is going to be the player from the season that comes back for 50. 2 players are coming back. This one would make a lot of sense. The game was robbed of him. He did not get the choice. Medical Evac made the decision that it would not be safe to put him back in the game. Bret, are you buying what Rob's selling here, that Jake is definitely one of those 2 from this season that will be on season 50?
There's a possibility, but there's definitely a possibility. Plus, everyone's, he just had a child, which to me, that the snake is God saying, hey,
get home.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't have children, but I don't understand. If I was going to have a kid, I wanted to be on Survivor as bad as him. I don't think I would have gone out there if my wife was. You're going to leave your wife alone you guys both have kids. I can't see you do as much as you want to be on Survivor, Boy Green. Are you gonna not see your child be born? Your first child?
Well, I got multiple kids, so I guess it's
I guess I can understand maybe with the second one. I don't know. To me, it seemed. I know it's just he feels like it's his one shot, so we can definitely see.
But let me ask you about that, Bret, real quick. So we'll get back into.
I honestly, I hope we don't see him back. I don't think he was that great of a player. So
fair enough. But let me ask you that, because and this is an impossible question because this wasn't presented to you, and I don't know how many people it's been presented to in the past, right? So Jake obviously was intriguing enough to them that they wanted him on this cast that was on season 49, but he knew that as he was about to go out there that man, with all the timing of this, I'm going to miss, if I decide to go, the birth of my child. Is there any, he got through the process because they really wanted him. Could he say hey man, my kid's most important. I obviously want to do the show. Can you put me on the back burner and sort of half promise me that I can make a future season? How does that whole part of the process work? Because obviously they were intrigued enough with him that they even wanted him on 49 to begin with.
Oh, I'm sure they would say to him, I'm sure they said to him, listen, if you feel that strongly, we completely understand, and that's your decision. We will consider you for future, seasons, but it's no guarantee. It's
not a lock.
So, I mean, listen, I totally, it's easy for me to say it now, but I don't know. I just think it's, I'm happy I'm happy he got to see his kid. If anything out of this whole thing is that he got to see his kid get born, because I think he's really going to remember that for a long time. And I think it's going to be more important to him than his Survivor time. He could have gotten voted out next week anyway.
They dropped in a note that he got home in time for his baby boy to be born, and that was mentioned in the episode. Go ahead, Boy Green. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So just to go back to this, so you think it's possible, but you don't think it's a lock that Jake is one of these 2?
No, I don't think it's a lock that he's winning.
Okay.
Neither do I, but I did think of it. That was one of the first things I thought of. Was
Yeah.
that would be intriguing or interesting because the way that he got like that. I remember one of the guys that popped into my head when I saw that was when oh gosh, I just had his name and it just went right back. Michael, who fell into the fire. Remember he was
season
leaning
3.
over the fire,
Oh my
going
God,
pretty far back, right? And he
Oh, so 2, Australia. Yeah, right.
right. And he
Oh yeah, the other guy. Yeah.
He fell into the fire. Michael, the bald guy, right? And he fell into the fire,
Jesus.
and got burned,
Helicoptered out,
and
right?
they had to helicopter him out. And then they did bring him back for
True.
another season because he was kind
Later,
of,
right.
and
So-
prematurely.
I agree with you guys on that,
Mhm.
but my question for you is, it's season 50.
That's true.
We're bringing
That's true.
back Coach. Are
Yeah.
we bringing back Jake? Because if we're bringing back Jake, we wasted a spot. And again, I'm not beating him up. I've actually met him. He's a really nice guy.
Yes.
But I don't. And maybe they didn't show how great of a player he is. And maybe
Right.
when he does come back and play again, because I believe he will get another shot. Might not be 50, but
Right.
he's going to prove me wrong that he's just then great. I'm happy for him. But is he coming back for 50? 50. 50. I
That's
don't
the thing
know.
that I struggled with.
I'm mad that there's 3 I heard coming back from 48.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Right.
Right.
I don't see 3 people, and I liked the 48 cast. We've talked about it. We've talked about it several times, but I don't see 3 people that deserve to come back for 50. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And right, in the end, because he's only been on so few episodes, his impact on this season is not going to be that great. You really would like to see people that were more impactful, all right, and that attach themselves to the audience for a longer period of time. Because, of course, we all know, anybody that watches Survivor, every one of you right now joining us on this live broadcast, we're attached to the show, but we get more and more attached to the characters as they play into the game. And as we get to the real nitty gritty and we get to, this is now they're going to turn on themselves. Now we're at the merge. Now we're at these new places in the game. Jake's not there for any of that. He's, just there for the first, few eliminations and that's it. So I think it's a different animal. Wouldn't you say, Bret?
Yeah. I do too. And again, I hope he gets another chance because that's kind of a crap way to go out getting bit by a snake that honestly doesn't even really want to bite him. So, and I really think they could have put him back in the game. I guess I'm not a doctor. I should shut my mouth, but I just feel like he really wanted to go back in the game. I feel like he felt like he was 100% and he could have done it. But in the same respect, I do think he's going to find that it's more important that he saw his child born.
Yeah.
Look, can we go to the elimination and work back, Boy Green? Is that right?
Yes,
So
definitely.
let's go there.
Yeah.
There's only 3. Jake, gets evac'd out, so now we're down to 3, and of course they lose the challenge. Another puzzle. Let me ask you this before we even get to the poor puzzling again by that Kelly tribe. All right, let me ask you again. I love when you take us inside, Brett, or you tell us stuff that we wouldn't otherwise know because you were on the cast, you were on the island, and you were all the way to the final 4. So you were there for a long, long period of time and saw a lot of things happen. And of course, your season was the 39-day season, not this abbreviated season. So we've talked through this for years and years with you. But do the producers, and maybe I'll even ask the question, should the producers of the show, upon seeing how poorly Kelly executes puzzles, maybe not put an elimination puzzle in play here in this challenge in order to not, essentially make it like they're going to lose again. And they're going to lose again if you put a puzzle in there. Every member of that tribe was awful on puzzles. All of them. We saw they switched it up again and they were again awful. So why not, as the producers, maybe do one of those endurance challenges or do something else? I know those are typically after the merge, but, something else that didn't involve a puzzle. Because once I saw the puzzle, I was like, they're losing. And they had the lead going into the puzzle, and, of course, they couldn't get it done. Talk about that. Do the producers have that power on the fly upon seeing the way the game is being played to say, hey, we're going to switch this challenge up and do something else?
I would say they probably could, but they don't like to because they put John Kerhofer and the crew. They work hard. It's all planned out. They're building these things as you go. They might not have had anything ready to go other than that one. We're still early in the season, so I think it's just all right. This is what we're doing now because we're still building out these other stuff. So I would like to have seen that. I agree with you. I think to me it wasn't fair for them.
It was like a foregone conclusion, right?
Yeah. But I think that they already have. It's like a script, right? They already have everything planned and they're going forward. And it's too bad. And we've seen it too many times where one tribe just gets decimated, and then They didn't have a chance. They lost a guy to a snake. They lost, they just voted out somebody else the night before. They were already down. There's Kerhofer right there. Good man. Good man. That drink was horrible, though, by the way.
So that's Kerhofer, John Kerhofer.
He's one of the kindest, nicest guys you'll ever meet. His wife, his girlfriend, or they might be. I can't. But she works in production, and I had her on Amazing Race too. I had her at Survivor and Amazing Race. Both two wonderful people. Beth, love her too. She's awesome.
And
but
he's
John, one of the nice
he creates, designs, and runs the challenges.
Okay. Runs them from day one. He's the guy.
Wow.
From day one.
That's a pretty cool job.
He loves his job. You can tell.
So let's go to it, Lurch. You mentioned it. There's Jeremiah. Great action shot there of Jeremiah.
Jazz hands. He's got his jazz hands.
Yeah, there is a lot of jazz hands there, and his torch gets snuffed. What do you think about? So, let's go through it, right? So to Lurch's point, Kelly gets eliminated. There's only 3. The interesting twist, of course, is your guy Alex has a immunity idol that we already all knew about. So 3 people, one guy has the immunity. It sort of is this 2v1 situation where they either have to, one of them has to bend the knee to Alex and just vote out whoever he wants, or they try to team up and try to get out Alex and play the game of trying to trick him to not use his idol and see if he could do it. What did you make of the entire play? And ultimately, we have Sophia, who ends up rolling with Alex, doing the safe thing and just ditching Jeremiah.
If they got him, if Sophie, my girl, who's
Sophie with the eye,
I met her too. This is great in person. If she had gotten Alex to not play his idol, it would have Eric Wright would have been cheering in the background.
Yeah,
because it just would have been on her. I was like, there's no way. Another guy, Eric's a great guy, but that he has to live with that for the rest of his life, giving up that.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Yeah.
And he did it twice, right? He did it twice.
And I think he would have been doing somersaults down the street if he or cartwheels.
Yeah,
down
right.
the street if she had gotten Alex to not play it. And of course he was going to play it. Like, come on.
He had to play it.
You had
That's
to play
what me and Manchild were talking about before the show.
And I get so mad at the end. He's like, I shouldn't have played it. Come on, dude. Stop it. Like, nobody is going to critique you for that. You had to play that idol, period.
100%.
100%. Which now let's update the old fantasy draft board here. Very important to do. Bret, you remain untouched. Your entire squad is fully intact here, although it got a little dicey there. Manchild, you lost your guy Jeremiah, which is real tough.
Is he my guy? That's really the question now, Bret. Is he my guy? I don't want to replay the whole story to this audience tonight. This is going to be going on all season. I'll just make it simple statement. If Rizzo wins and Boy Green wins this thing, it's tainted. All right.
Absolutely
if anyone
not.
else wins, it's
Absolutely
fine.
not.
But if Rizzo wins, it's tainted.
I'll tell you.
All I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, Jeremiah kind of got forced on you, man. I'll tell you right now, there's nothing I wouldn't do to have Rizzo on my, he's getting a heck of an edit. I would love to have him as one of my people. Yeah. So, Boy Green really pulled one over on you, and I was there and I witnessed it. And I don't feel right about it. If I feel dirty,
It was the old double taping, folks. And then he found out what my pick was going to be, and then switched his pick in front of me. Dirty pool, very dirty pool. Yeah. A small mistake was made. We decided to reshoot it, and then he flipped his pick and messed with me, man. And he took Rizzo, who I had. We'll see how it all goes down. But if Rizzo wins, it's tainted. That's all I'm saying. It's tainted.
Heck of an edit.
Interestingly enough, I went back and looked at the original draft order, Bret, and he picked both Jake and Jeremiah. So he would have been double eliminated tonight. That would have been the first time in our history that we had a double elimination. One person lost 2, and he would have been down to only Jason.
It would have been tough.
So it would have been a brutal night for Boy Green. As it is, he survives with only losing 1. I lose a guy that was, forced upon me. But I still felt good about Jeremiah and Jeremiah's game. So, but it just was not in the cards. I actually think, and I'd love your take on this, Brett. I actually thought that Alex should have gone the other way. I think he should have eliminated Sophie, and not because Sophie's on your draft board. Because from what we've seen with Sophie, she's just, to me, more dastardly. She's going to flip on anybody to survive herself. And I think that Jeremiah, while he might have inevitably at some point maybe flipped on Alex because I don't think he had an incredibly close relationship with him. I think the fact of the matter is he would have hung with him longer, and I think he would have been easier to read. She's got a, she's a character, and like you said, one of the reasons you picked her, she's good with people, and she did it again. She kind of pulled the wool over his eyes and convinced them to keep her on.
Yeah, so I love her. I'm rooting for her. I have her in my draft, as you guys can see. It's right in front of us all. But I would have gotten rid of her too. That would have been the person.
Thank you.
To go. She's much more of a player.
Much more.
He had a chance to get rid of. The only thing I can think of, and again, we don't see everything.
Correct.
Maybe Jeremiah's, who we all know has a crazy laugh. He might have just annoyed people a little too much. And I think they weren't sure. Maybe they said, "Are we gonna even get a swap next week? Who knows? Who do I want to be with for the next week or the next few days? So who knows? We don't really know what the dynamic was between them all. I was a little shocked that he didn't go for Sophie. So there must be something we're missing.
Yeah, and for folks that are just looking at this graphic on the screen, again, we got Jim the Manchild, Lurch, Boy Green, and Bret LaBelle, former Survivor Castaway here on the Manchild Show with Boy Green Digital. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. I see we got a couple hundred people in here tonight, which is awesome. And we'll give you a plug on some free giveaways you're doing on the YouTube channel, so make sure you guys subscribe to it. But yes, this image on the screen is for our Survivor 49 fantasy draft. Me, Lurch, and Bret for years have been doing a fantasy draft after seeing an episode or two of the season, and we pick our people, and then whoever picks the winner ends up winning the whole thing. And we've done a pretty good job of picking winners over the last couple of years. Bret, of course, is the reigning defending champion. So again, Bret remains unscathed with his fantasy draft so far. Me and Manchild have drawn blood, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we do a snake draft and we pick 9 players. We always pick pick 3 to just make it interesting as the season goes on. And yeah, it's been a fun process. And I could tell you, Boy Green, in the history we've done it, and we've done it for a lot of seasons of Survivor since Bret's been with us. We've never, one of us has always had the winner. One of us has always had the winner. We have never had a season where none of us had the winner and one of the other cast members. And there's usually 18?
18, correct. 18. So we're picking 50% of the pool, essentially.
Yeah, we usually pick after the first episode. So, all right, we're +1 on the field, basically. But we're picking approximately half the field, and we know who to weed out right out of the even after one episode. No way, they win. And every once in a while, we get surprised by someone who goes deep, and we start getting nervous. But it usually doesn't happen. All right.
I was a little worried about this season when we first. I said this is going to be the one that we drafted.
That we do badly.
Win, but we'll see.
Although, just to be clear, I heard Lurch using the term "we" have been able to figure it out pretty well. I mean, he's using "we" a little too loosely. It's been me and Bret sort of holding down the fort, picking all these winners.
It's true.
Lurch, you haven't joined the "we" yet. I hope eventually you do. Right. But the "we" was used a little loosely there.
Yeah. Well, Lurch, I'll stick up for you a little bit. At least you didn't steal somebody's pick either.
Yes, right. At least
I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't seen any other recording. I'm a subscriber to the MC Show digital channel, which, by the way, other people can right here. I looked. I didn't see some alternative episode. I've only seen one episode of the fantasy draft, and the one I saw had me drafted Rizzo. So I don't know what you guys are talking about, to be honest with you.
As you can see, Bret, I've got the this is the Kella buff. Nice. It's about to go away because we already know, watching the coming attractions, that they're going to do a tribe swap. So we may not even see this blue buff going forward. But man, they have been the loser tribe. I should have got one of those yellow ones.
Did you get it on a discount, Lurch, because of the tribe collapsing? Or
sorry. I'm gonna have to deck out with my Survivor hat and buff next week.
Please do.
We're all duded up for it. We just we want to.
I just have my torch and my
which is pretty good. I think that kind of one ups us there, Bret. Can you walk us through that? What do you got back there? Let's go full screen.
I got my torch, and I got that's my torch.
Okay.
From Gen X, it started on the Gen X, and this is our Takali flag. So you walk into tribal with that.
Carrying the flag, right?
Okay, very nice.
Carrying the flag, very cool. Very cool. Real, authentic Survivors.
100%.
You can't see it, but it's signed by everyone. Will Wall, myself, Jay, Sunday.
Okay.
Michaela, everyone's signed it.
The signatures are actually on there. And Bret and Boy Green, are you wearing the Wendell hat? I think you are, right?
I absolutely am.
Let me pull that off for a second. So this was a hat. There it is. You can see it right on the side. That is autographed by Wendell, winner of Ghost Island. When that was autographed, and it was for Paul's birthday, one of our interns reached out because we've been doing Survivor stuff for a long time. I know most people know us as sports guys. That's what we do primarily, but we have always had a passion for Survivor, which has brought us now to this point digitally where where we're doing a Survivor post-game show, which we love. But the fact of the matter is that back then our intern sent it out and got Wendell to autograph it, and it was an amazing gift to Paul, who Paul has tried to get on Survivor. He's auditioned many times. He's still auditioning.
I auditioned this year. Yeah.
David Wright is trying to help him now a little bit, giving him advice. So we're doing anything we can. I have no desire to be on the show. I love the show, but I love watching it. Paul wants to be on the show, and he claims if he ever gets on, he'll be the next Russell Hand. So if you want another evil person, and his drafting prowess shows exactly that he would undercut his longtime partner, okay, just to win a draft that, by the way, no one gets any money for, and it's simply for pride. But he would cut my legs right out from under me, as he did in this draft. So he will be a dastardly Survivor player if he ever gets on the show.
A quick shout out, though, that this hat, so shout out to our intern that got us this. That was intern Anthony at the time. He got this signed before Wendell won. We didn't know he won. That was back in the days when they drew the winner live at the finale. Right. So he had signed this just in the middle of not knowing. Right.
Wendell was back, and he was in the final three or whatever, but he didn't know if he had won yet. And that's when he signed that hat. Yeah, so that's cool. Very authentic thing. And that's obviously got the authentic, and I bought mine at the Paramount shop.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I was with Wendell last week. He's a great guy. I mean, just one of the nicest guys you ever meet. He does I think he does like a building show or something on some other channel too.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
he was profound in that.
Yeah, he built furniture and everything when he was out there.
There's the one thing I love about those Survivor shows that him and Bryce do is that you get to see them both. They're both good guys, but Wendell is fantastic. So good dude. That's a great hat to have. And I hope you guys get to meet him one day because he's just such a likable guy.
And what a season, right? We had it go down to him and Dom, where then it's a tie, and then we have to bring Michelle back in to decide who's going to win Survivor. I mean, that's as dramatic gets. So spectacular.
And I've hung out with both of them together, Dom and Wendell, and they're both great guys. I mean, you guys have had Dom on the show also, and the two of them together are just great. So really, really nice guys. That whole season, they had a great cast.
That was a very good cast. I agree. That was a Ghost Island was a terrific cast, and some really, really interesting characters. So yeah, Brett, I'll have to send this to you, and we'll have to get some. Who would be the Survivor? That's like a good, one of those. Suppose you could get it autographed by anyone in the Survivor. Ask me that question next week, and I'll come up with an answer.
I got an easy
Survivor in the history of Survivor. All right,
easy.
And I'll just keep you out of it, Brett, because we know you.
I was just about to say Brett's the answer to that.
No, I would just say this. I mean,
would it be? Who would I want if I could get any Survivor to autograph my hat, as Boy Green has it autographed by Wendell? Who would that Survivor be? I'm going to come back next week with that answer. I actually really need to marinate on that. I really need to marinate.
Oh, there's an obvious answer. There's not.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you this: before the show tonight, before the live show, the Survivor episode tonight, I was watching some Survivor reruns. This is how sick we're into the show. And it was the Coach Brandon season.
Oh, my God.
And it was getting to that point where the betrayal and Brandon was having the crisis of it's one of my favorite seasons. I love it. And I know Coach is back for 50, so I'm really looking forward to seeing
that. I can't get enough of Coach, man. I've never been able to get enough of Coach.
That craziness between him and Brandon, Russell Hance's nephew, was just insanity to me. I enjoyed that immensely. The moral compass of Brandon and how messed up it was, and Coach trying to get him back on the road and turn him into a loyalist. That was just brilliant. That was brilliant.
Coach is the best. His first season is fantastic too, and one of my favorite scenes is he's telling this crazy story, and it pans. I can't remember her name, but she looks at the camera and she says, "Who is this jackass?" That whole season was hysterical, and he added so much to it. And when he came back, again, another great season. And I love Coach. I can't wait to see him on 50. I hope he does well.
By the way, have any of you seen Brandon recently?
I heard he's in jail or something. Right?
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I didn't know about that, but that's unfortunate. But no, in terms of the visual, Brandon's gotten some new ink. Here is a shot of Brandon. He's got this very vivid blue tattoo on the side of his face. So
he's going Mike Tyson on us here, huh?
Yeah, that's a little more than Mike Tyson, but salute to old Brandon out there. But yes, that would be the answer. We were talking about who would the autograph be. We'll let Lurch marinate on it. But come on, the Dragon Slayer, man, Coach, having some autograph merch from the Dragon Slayer. Come on, that's got to be up there.
I don't know. I'm gonna really have to marinate on this. I mean, we are talking about a lot of seasons of Survivor.
You could go Mount Rushmore, right? Rob Mariano, Boston Rob would make a lot of sense. Parvati perhaps on that list. Queen Sandra, she could be on the list.
Rob, I have great respect for Rob as a Survivor player.
I feel like there's a butt coming, but go ahead.
But in all honesty, and great respect, and the show would not be what it has become without Rob as along the way doing and being in multiple episodes, and then being
like 6 or 7 seasons,
with Sandra in that season too. So I mean, he's been involved at a very, very high level for a long time. He's obviously a very popular player, but he has never been one of my favorite players at all. Never.
Wow.
I never rooted for him in the show. It's just funny how you attach yourself to certain players. I appreciated Rob. There are probably times in episodes where I wanted him to stick around, but and it was never like, get him out of here. But at the same time, he was never the player I wanted to win. So interesting.
No, I can see that. I mean, he's some people love him, some people don't.
Polarizing, very much so.
Very that's a great way to put it. Very polarizing.
I hated that one season, Bret, where he wouldn't let people out of his sight.
Oh, he did that a lot. The babysitting. 100%.
Really annoyed me.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was
funny but annoying.
Great TV.
Ooh, yes. All right. Oh, he's getting something over there, Brett.
Oh, okay.
He's got another trinket or something.
No, cord fell out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was annoying too. But people either love Rob or they don't. But you have to respect the game that he plays.
Absolutely, love his game.
That's why this show is so great, right? Because you could sit down with your family, you could sit down with your friends, you could sit down and talk it at, let's say you watch it on your own and you sit down at work the next day and talk. Everyone likes somebody else. Everyone's rooting for somebody different. You can pick, everyone has different tastes on who they like and why. And that's why it's such a cool show, because everyone can kind of, pick who they're rooting for, and it could be somebody different. You can sit down with your family and everyone's going for somebody different,
Which is great. So, Bret, let's dive into that for a second, because not only have you been on the show Survivor, but, you're a Survivor entertainer. You're at all the parties. You're with all the former castaways. You guys, it's a strong community you guys are going to have forever. There's only been, less than 800 people that have ever been on the show before, which has been pretty cool. Who have you watched on this show and you're like, this guy, what a jerk? And then you meet him in person, you're like, wow, actually, it was just the edit, I guess. I don't know what it was.
You want to give on that? Ooh,
yeah, you're right. That it went the other way. You thought there were one thing.
Headlines tomorrow, easy.
Well, in a good way, because I'm not. I could ask him to go the other way. Who's someone you liked, and then you met him, you're like, what an asshole. So no, I'm going the complete opposite way. I'm saying, who was someone that you sort of watched on TV and had a bad opinion on or whatever, and then you meet him, you're like, actually, they're a great person or a great guy or whatever.
I would say Abby.
Oh, yeah?
Abby Maria.
Wow.
And because I just think she got a kind of a tough edit,
Yeah. Definitely.
Jerry Manty, another one.
Oh, I love Jerry. Yeah.
Well, see, I did not, but I met her, and she's fantastic. Abby Maria. I did not.
What a personality.
Yes, her and Fishback, who I always kind of was rooting for, they were going at it, so I had a bad taste in my mouth. But I met her and I really liked her. I met her a bunch of times, and she's a lot of fun and she's really sweet. And so it's funny. Your people are out there for so long and they're tired and they're hungry, and different personalities come out, and whatever you see, you're going to kind of think that's how they are all the time, but they're not.
Right. Hey, listen, our show, Brett, and we have some wonderful, wonderful local sponsors. I love our sponsor tonight, who we're about to hear from just for 30 seconds, all right? Because Survivor sometimes is about integrity. It is about doing the right thing. Boy Green knows nothing of this, sitting in the middle and laughing because he knows nothing about integrity. But our friends at Bayberry Automotive, they know everything about integrity. Take a listen, Boy Green, and take it to heart, my friends. Our friends at Bayberry, teaching you a lesson about Survivor.
Integrity is a word that some people just throw around in life. But at Bayberry Automotive, integrity is everything. Integrity of their mechanics, who are all experienced and certified. Integrity in the work they perform, with nothing but 5-star reviews from satisfied customers on Google. Integrity that goes along with family. A family-run business that treats you like one of their own. Integrity in everything. Bayberry Automotive. BayberryAutomotive.com.
Located on Route 57 across from Bayberry Plaza, the premier choice for auto repair in Liverpool.
You see, Boy Green, when you bring your car in, you want people who care about integrity, not who would cut your legs off for a survivor draft that means nothing other than that's what I'm saying. Those people don't do that. They never cut me, the people at Bayberry Automotive. They never would.
And here's the thing. This is where I can resonate with Bayberry. Survivor people out there in the audience that obviously you're watching the show. When you bring me on the show, because it's going to happen eventually, we just gotta let it happen.
I mean, look at this character. They got to let this character on the show. I mean, look at him. Just the look of him is enough to get him on television.
So when you bring me on the show, I'm going to treat you like family, my tribe mates, before I hit you in the back of the head with a wrench. But at the beginning, I'm going to treat you like family, one of my own. And then when it serves me best, they're going to get hit with a wrench. But, it's survival of the fittest. It's self-preservation, that sort of thing. You understand.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
All right, look, let's talk about some of the other tribe life, because I know that we just are so focused on Kella because they just keep losing and they're just bad. And finally, they are going to be disbanded next week. Thank goodness. But man, Hina continues. The Yellow Tribe is terrific. Again, another win. That Jason character, who is one of Boy Green's draftees, the gamer, is that guy's great at puzzles, and they keep putting him on the puzzles. And as long as they have puzzles, I'm always confident they're going to win. And he was squawking even while he was doing the puzzle, and he was in the middle of it. I got this. We're winning this thing. No problem. And they did. Talk about that Hina tribe and how they continue to prosper here, Bret.
It's one of those things where we were doing it on Ikabula. We just found a way to win. We found a way to stay in it. And you build confidence like that. And that's what they're doing. And they've been winning, since day one. They have some very talented people on there, good at puzzles. And it's been really good. There's going to be a time. Well, there's there's a tribe swap coming, so things are going to change for these folks. But if we had a stronger tribes, I think eventually they would have lost, and it would have been tough for them. But I mean, I think the tribe swap is good. You can't have a tribe of two, so they got to do the tribe swap. They got to mix this deck a little bit, and hopefully, we'll see some more people shine.
And what is that? Because Jeff Probst talked about it at one of the tribals for Kella, that, even if the overall tribe stinks and they have to cannibalize each other, whoever survives from these tribes normally go very far, and they do very well. So we heard Juwan, he talked about, we got a war, Balake. We got yellow tribe, red tribe. That's what's going to be happening. And no one's thinking about the two blues that are going to be significant pieces on both of these tribes, because they could be key swing votes when it gets down to it. So what is that key for Kella? There's only two left, but they're likely going to be split up here. I would imagine one on each of these sides. And that preservation of being able to survive, you no longer have your group, and you sort of have to adapt to these new situations.
No, you get lazy when you don't go to tribal, and they're scrappers, right? Alex and Sophie, they're scrappers. They've had to every week or every tribal they've been there. So I think the others are in for a rude awakening. They've enjoyed it. It's like a vacation for them. They haven't had to see where the true lines are. They don't know where their alliances really hold up. And it's not until you lose and you have to go to tribal, and then you can really see, are we really a tight four, or is someone going to make a move? And I am not. They try to paint a picture of a tight four. Let's see what happens next week.
Yeah, boy, once those Kella people get a bit of food, get to sit in front of a warm fire, life is going to change for them. But like you said, we see this time and time again with Survivor. When we have this loser tribe, those last few that stick, they end up going deep, because they have that resilience. They've been fighting for it since day one, and there's just a little more going on there. They're a little more deep into the game. They're thinking about alliances a little bit more. There's a little more strategy there. So we could see that again. We'll see with only two members left.
It's a similar analogy to say when you got a team, let's say a football team, and you're going, and they and then all of a sudden you have a bye week, and you're like, because it takes them out of the, they're in a roll. Right. And now it throws them off a little bit. So I think I think some people are in for a rude awakening next week.
Let's talk beware advantages, Brett. Two of them, well, one is already out of the game, because that idol was played and they found that beware advantage and then turned it into an idol. The other two tribes went group searching. Both tribes go out group searching. And here's the bad thing about that, all right? Number one, I don't think it's a great idea to begin with. Number two, now everybody knows who has that beware advantage in the other two tribes. It was found by Rizzo in the Uli tribe. It was found by MJ, all right, in the what's the other tribe? The Hina tribe. All right. So we know who has it. Their whole tribes know who have it. And now we're going to come to this point. We're going to tribe swap. So this is going to leak out to other people. So let's talk about that and how the beware will play in this scenario. Go ahead, Boy Green.
And just quick correction. I believe in MC and Steven's case, only those two know about the beware advantage. I don't think they told
MC,
the rest
I
of
said
the
MJ, MC.
Yeah. And I mean MC. I don't think they told the rest of the tribe. They went on
You're
a
right.
group
MC
search,
and
they
Steven
found it
know, and the whole
secretly.
tribe knows on the other one. That's a good point.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So there is more than one person that knows. Go ahead, Brett.
So what annoys me here is, in Rizzo, he says, "Oh, this is my," he found it. Okay, but he tells everyone. He reads the whole thing to them, so they know exactly what the deal is.
Exactly. Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, this is mine." No, it's not, because now everyone's going to run to the water well, and whoever digs the next instructions up
Gets the next
get it
clue and
before
go
him.
from there.
It's
Right.
theirs. So I found that I just find this very interesting that he didn't have to tell them. I didn't see exactly where everyone was, but it seemed like he was like, "Oh, guys, I found it." Like, just shut up. What is this thing where we have to tell everyone? It drives me mental that they all do this, because I'm not sure Rizzo's going to come up with that at the end of the day.
And that's what I thought for a second when Rizzo saw it. Again, we don't know camera angles. Where's everyone else? But when the camera angle was on him, I thought he was going to go like, "Aha, pocket." But when he went, "Aha, everybody," I went, "What the hell?" I was like, "Damn it, Rizzo, you bastard!"
But shame on them if they don't go take that from him.
Right.
Shame on the other players. They're not really playing. If they let if let's say they lose tribal, and now he can run to get the chain at the thing. If they just let him do that without trying to,
They're dumb.
then yeah, exactly. How's that going to work now if there's a tribe swap though? Because is that not going to? I guess it'll still be there if it's that camp.
Right. Where does it go? Which camp? Right. That's going to be a little tricky,
Yeah.
And both of these tribes taking a long time to get out there and look for something that they knew existed, which is interesting. And then they decide to group it up, so to speak. And like Boy Green pointed out, that one tribe, right, went in groups of two. They were originally going to go out as a whole group. They ended up going out in groups of two. And smartly, MC finds it. And then her secret partner is Steven. So she
AKA Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, the Ryan Reynolds guy, who's one of my draftees. Hopefully,
actually, I'm thinking about this. Could be very interesting because if Rizzo gets swapped to a different tribe, right? Let's say they still use that same island, which they probably will. If someone who knows that beware advantage didn't get found, they should know to go to the
correct same place, right?
So this could be an interesting thing here.
Yeah, could be
twist of events.
Could be. One other thing I wrote down here on Camp Live tonight, Brett, we saw, it's hard to keep all their names straight because they all begin with S, but we saw Shannon out Sage to Savannah. Okay, there you go, the three S's. Shannon out Sage to Savannah. All right, so a little bit of trust given, and that trust was given to the wrong person because they didn't, again, realize who that person's number one is. When do you trust and when don't you trust here? And was that a critical mistake here, Brett, early on?
You got to walk a tightrope, man. You got to, it's like, you got to, it's, what's that when you, when you like insult somebody, but then you say something very nice about them. Like you kind of have to keep walking. And I think Sage did a good job of, she was kind of like, oh, I don't really know, but I'm not really trusting her, but it's only because of this. She was doing kind of a good job of that, trying to stay in neutral because you don't want to show your cards to Shannon and be like, hey, I don't like this chick. Right. I want her out because Shannon's going to run with that information, or she might run with that information, or she might not. So you just don't know where they're going with it. So you want to be very careful what you say. If I'm Sage and I don't trust everyone, and I think, since high school, nobody's been very, she's got this thing going on. I don't know
about everybody ghosting her.
Yeah, everyone
goes high school, right? She got bullied. Yeah.
I did kind of feel bad for her, but I will say, it's like then don't don't go all in with somebody then. Like if you're not feeling the vibe, be very careful what you give, because you don't want to solidify your exit, because every 3 days on Survivor is new life,
100%. Brett, my last one for you is just to go back to the beginning of this, unfortunately, which is Jake getting, medical evac because of a animal situation, which ended up being in this particular case.
Reptile. It's a
reptile. Yes, snake bite. Did you have any close encounters with any animals, whether in a fun, cute way or a serious way that kind of gave you the heebie-jeebies?
No, well, so there was these birds. Those they saw them last week. Right? We never talked about them, but they showed these birds that they live in the ground. So and they would run over you at night while you're in your hut. They come out at night. They're nocturnal.
What the hell?
And
they
look
road runners. They run on the ground.
Little half pigeon, half chickens, but they'd run right over your legs while you were sleeping. It'd freak you.
That's got to be jarring.
Yeah, that was only on the Gen X tribe. That island, which is I don't know what they call it. It's a beautiful island. But they lived in the ground. So you'd be walking during the day and you'd see these holes and you look in, you'd see the thing looking at you. It's kind of weird.
Oh my goodness. That's
very, very bizarre. They lived on the ground. And then I'm trying to think, crabs. In the middle of the night, crabs would kind of make it up to the fire.
Whoa.
And one crawled right on Will, who was almost like looking at him with the claws going. It was so funny.
Oh.
So he woke up, we caught it, we ate the thing, But yeah. It's crazy. A lot of fish, a lot of you did see a couple of turtles. I mean, there's some cool stuff to see out there. It's beautiful.
Any sharks in the water? Sharks?
Oh, tons of sharks.
Oh.
They weren't that big.
Tons
they weren't that big. We were trying to catch them to eat them, but they're very fast.
Oh, yeah. So let me ask you, Brett, I don't know if you remember from this binder, what animals were off limits that you weren't allowed to, mess around with, that you couldn't capture and try to hunt?
Well, we came this close. Me and the ginger, and David Wright was behind us, but he wasn't going to do anything. We wanted to eat a bat. The fruit bats out there. I'm talking huge. These things.
Yeah.
And it just looked like a lot of meat. And we came very. I know Paul was with us. Yeah. We came very close to doing it, and literally production jumped in and said, "It wasn't in the book." But they're like, "No, you're not."
That could make you sick.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't let us do it, but we came close. So
okay.
How close, Brett? I assume it's probably in the same location. How close is that hospital scenario that we saw this
at base camp?
We went at base camp. So how far is that base camp? We saw them get on a boat, so obviously it's on another island. How far is that, and how accessible is that if something goes
I
down?
couldn't tell you. Never been there.
Okay.
Never seen it. Never been allowed to go there. We have no idea. I couldn't tell you where Jeff stays. I couldn't tell you where the production stays. Have no idea how far that is from the island.
Okay.
I will say it was a good hour boat ride sometimes to get to tribal council, depending on what island you were staying at.
Wow.
All right.
Some islands were closer, but a lot of times they would keep you on the boat until the other tribe was close. So they might go around. You might be going around the same island 3 or 4 times because they're just waiting for the other.
Right. To coordinate things.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So we usually see the tribes walking in and walking out of tribal and walking out of their camp. It's not necessarily always a walk. It's a walk, and then you hop on the boat. We don't see the boat, and then they're walking into camp. We see the 2 walks. We don't see the thing in the middle. Is that correct?
Right. And when they do a pan out of tribal, it's the same spot. So it's the same spot they're doing tribal that they did for me. And that walk is. You'll see them walk. Okay, they're getting on a boat right here.
Yeah,
they're not going. They're not. It's not a long walk.
Right. Okay.
And then you get to your island, and they park the boat a little further down the beach. You get off the boat, and then they show the walk back in.
I see what you.
See the magic of television.
Yeah.
Well, this will be my last one here, Brett, because.
But other seasons, guys, just for the record, before they stayed in Fiji. You could be walking through I was talking to people that they literally walk through a jungle to get there, So
I remember some of those earlier seasons where, they had some of those journeys at the beginning. I wanted to give you a chance, Brett, to share whatever your opinion is on medical in general, because I saw there were some complaints on social media that, Jake got bit by the snake, and it seemed like a lot of time went by. They were sort of lollygagging. It seemed this was some of the criticisms on, social media, like, oh my God, this guy got bit by what appears to be a very venomous snake. They They didn't seem to act very fast until we saw everything sort of escalate there. What is just your take on medical and the job they do and being at the ready just in case anything ever happens? What's your experience with medical?
Well, I think that there's I think there's a, this is the year, 2025?
Yeah.
There's probably a anti-venom EpiPen that they probably gave him the minute he got on that boat.
Okay.
That being said, they still probably wanted to get him back as soon as possible. It is what it is. You're on an island. There's no hospital on that island. You're marooned.
Right.
I mean, honestly, if that was a bad bite, this could have gone really bad.
Definitely. Of course.
I will say they will be watching for those snakes more probably now. But again, I've seen those snakes every day I was out there, and they wouldn't come anywhere near you. They would literally come up to you. Oh, shoot, there you are, and gone. So that was very strange. The way that snake was acting was very weird.
And again, knowing those snakes are water snakes, I mean, we heard Jeff say it before the challenge. We want to let you know that, that it doesn't happen.
Right, don't worry. Right.
You can jump in the water in this challenge because it was a water challenge,
Yeah.
You're going to be diving into the water, jumping off those big platforms. Don't worry. It's just like,
how would that not freak you out? Like, oh my God, it just bit him. Could I be next?
I didn't go to the beach for 5 years. I was so scared of sharks. And that was a movie, a mechanical shark, for crying out loud. I mean, good grief. A guy just got bit by a venomous snake, and you want me jumping in that same water? Holy camole.
Well, they had jellyfish. There would be days you would jump in and you get shocked. I had been shocked
by the jellyfish. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
those are nasty jellyfish things. I have gotten
all kinds of stuff. I mean, sea urchins you can step on. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that can go wrong. And for the most part, they're going to try and help you out and get you back out there. Like if you step on a sea urchin or you step on something like that, they're going to help you get the stuff out, and they're going to clean it up, and they're going to put you back into the game.
Wrap you up, get you back in.
This was just something that they were probably worried. I'm not a doctor, right? Neither are you guys. I mean,
no, not at all.
So it may be something on this where maybe the venom can hide in your body for a while and they come out. So maybe the protocol might have been, you got to watch this guy for 24 hours. And if that's the case, you can't go back in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
Well, he didn't go back in the game. And
no.
2 down.
I hope
2 down, 7 to go, fellas. 2 down, 7 to go.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. Hey, Lurch, we'll give you an opportunity here. We got 500 people in the room right now that are watching on a variety of our platforms from Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter alike. So, Lurch, I'll bring you full screen here. You have an opportunity to plug it up, baby. Hell yeah. We've got all
last time, right? Do you play golf, right? Yeah, right now, because we're trying to build up our subscribership, we were a radio show for nearly 25 years. And we about 3 months ago moved strictly to digital, where we now have a YouTube channel, and we also push out to all our social media portals, which we established while we were a radio show for years and years. So we have plenty of people that like and follow us there, but we're really trying to build up the YouTube product, which is where all of our videos are now located. And one of our sponsors, Play It Again Sports, donated a golf club to us. It is a brand new Cleveland XL driver, Highbore XL. It's adjustable from 9 degrees all the way up to 12 degrees of loft. Brand new, as you can see, still in the wrapper. And we're just giving it away once we reach our next goal in terms of subscribers. So you can get in on that right now for absolutely free just by clicking subscribe and being part of our family, and you will automatically be in the lottery for this golf club, which as soon as we reach that next plateau, we are going to give that golf club away. So get in there and help us build our little community. If you love Survivor, just come in for the Survivor stuff. Well, not only do we do the post-game show, we do interviews from time to time in the Survivor world. And Brett's going to be maybe bringing in some of his friends here for some of these post-game shows in the future. So we'll even have more people involved. But obviously, you know that we love Survivor, and we love, of course, to interact with former cast members like Brett. It's so much fun to get these insights to the show. We watch it on television, but it's just so cool to get these insights. So subscribe, like our videos, become part of our little family. We promise you won't regret it. You'll have a lot of fun. And if you love football, we cover the Jets, the Giants, and the Bills. So we're kind of like a New York kind of.
Pats are back, baby. Pats are back.
Yeah, there you go. Going into Buffalo and smacking around the Bills.
That was a great game, man.
That was a nice win for the Patriots.
Sunday Night Football, not too shabby. So again, guys, one last plug. Even if you're not a golfer yourself, get it. It's a $400 plus golf club here. You can get it for someone for the holidays. We got the Christmas coming up or something of that nature. Again, open up if you're on your phone right now or you're on your computer, just open up a new tab, youtube.com/MC Show Digital. As soon as we reach 500 subscribers, we're giving that away. So if you're one of our first 500 subscribers, you'll have a chance to win that and many more of our free gifts.
Yeah, very, very cool. We'll be giving away more stuff too. So just for being a subscriber, you'll always be in the lottery, so to speak.
As long as you remain subscribed. Yeah.
We're connected, man. You know, people like to give us stuff and then we give it away to you. It's pretty cool. All right, Bret, thanks as always, man. Great to do another post game with you. Looking forward to next week. So far, so good with this season. I'm pretty excited about it. How about you?
It's been fun. It's been interesting. It's been entertaining. So I'm liking it. I love, and we got a lot of good characters on this season, so I'm excited.
All right, well, let's keep all those other names on the board here for a few more weeks. We don't want to see any more of those X's next to any of the names. And as usual, Bret, you're unblemished, sitting right there.
I'm not going to get cocky yet.
Yeah, don't get cocky yet.
In this game.
No, not yet. We'll see how it all plays back. All right, for Bret LaBelle, for Boy Green, Paul Esden Jr., and myself, the man-child Jim Lurch, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you missed any of the show, it's immediately archived on our YouTube channel, again, at MC Show Digital, and you can go catch up on anything that we said at the top of the show if you missed it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next Wednesday, all you Survivor nuts.